Hey guys, Ellie here tonight. So I wanted to come on and talk about, when we are facing a challenge or an obstacle in our current reality. And what a lot of us tend to do when we have something that we're focused on in terms of that, like a challenge, is we try to use our mind to figure out all the ways to solve the problem. So I'll use an example. Let's just say that somebody's renting a place and they're coming up short one month. So they see that they have to have more money come in. And right now that they don't have that. So they're coming up short for the rent. So they're worried about that problem. They're trying to figure out how to come up with the money to pay the rent. Well, just remember, if you're in that reality and you're focused on that obstacle, then that reality is what you're going to keep alive in front of you. If you're worrying about a challenge and trying to solve a problem of an obstacle, that reality is going to stay current. You're going to continue to engage with that reality because you're giving your focus to the obstacles and our challenges. So what we want to do when we have something like that come up, and I think it was Albert Einstein that said, you can't solve a problem from the same level of consciousness that created it. And that's true. So you don't want to continue to focus on that reality where you have the obstacle. You want to go ahead and go beyond to what you would like to experience instead. So if you're having a rough time and you cannot pay this month's rent, then go to a reality, and this is up to everybody, whatever feels best for you, but where everything always gets paid. You have the money. I have all the money ahead of time before I even need it. I have more than I need before I need it. I live in a wonderful place. I am secure in my rental, or even I have a place of my own, and I have security, and I have abundance, and I trust in that. Whatever it is that calls to you most, but go to a reality where that is no longer an issue. You don't want to identify with the reality that is focused on the issue, because that energetic reality continues to keep that issue up in front of you. So when you go to a different reality, when you inhabit a different state of consciousness, that's when you're gonna be in a place to receive thoughts, ideas, inspirations, opportunities, chance meetings, all kinds of things that can help to get you into this other version, the version where you aren't worried about the challenge of paying your rent for the month. All these different things are going to come in when you inhabit that new state of consciousness. When you're in that old state, that current state that it's identified with that problem, you're very limited as to what can come in for you. And what's going to come in for you is going to match your energetic state. So if it's a worry and how do I do this and what do I need to do, then you're going to be in a state where you're attracting more of that kind of energy. But if you decide to instead choose in a state that you would rather inhabit of abundance, and that things are always taken care of, and no matter what, things are always working out even better than I expected. If you maintain that attitude and you see yourself in a place of, okay, I'm good, I'm okay, I'm secure, I'm grateful, I'm trusting. If you see yourself in that other reality, then that has to come to fruition in the path of least resistance. And we probably will never see all the ways that can happen, and that's not our job. We just have to continue to focus our consciousness on that end result. And as we do that, and I realize that sometimes, when we're talking about surviving and our homes or, our dwellings and all the different things that are, that we need for basic survival, it can be scary. But if we realize that we are consciousness and that everything starts from within us, so whatever reality that we identify with and hold within and continue to persist and to identify with has to be reflected back to us, then that should be a comforting thought, because we are in control of it all. It's not these circumstances. Those are just reflections of the energetic states that we've inhabited. So identify with what you want, the end result. And as you do that, you open yourself up to all the solutions, like I said, possibilities, opportunities that can come through to get you from that current state to this other state where you're not worried, where you're in a good place and everything's always taken care of. Like I said, you don't have to figure out how that's going to come about. What you need to do is, when you identify with that state and continue to persist in that, is to, when thoughts pop in or when an idea pops in, hey, let's go, I want to run over to the coffee shop. Things that might not make any logical sense. Listen to them, because when we're in that, inhabiting that more abundant state of that reality that we want to experience versus that current with the problem, we're going to get thoughts that just pop in our head and ideas and inspirations, and we need to follow them because they're guiding us all along the way to get us from where we are to where we want to be. And as we listen to those nudges, those inspirations, then things will really unfold in a very magical way. And like I said, it will probably could almost, for most of the part, never even see how to get from here to there, but that's not our business. That will happen. We just have to reside in the state and listen to our intuitive nudges and trust that it's all working out, because it will. And it has to, because that's the law when we inhabit a state and we make that our dominant state and persist in that state. So, and if we're in that other state, the lack state that's identified with the problem, being in that state versus the abundant state, we're very much limiting ourselves to only things coming in on that energetic level. So it's not providing solutions necessarily, it's providing the reflection of how do I fix this problem. That's the energetic state we're putting out. How do I fix this problem? Which, like I said just a few minutes ago, keeps that problem in place, and the energetics that we're inhabiting are continuing to focus on how do I solve this. So we're just creating more of that instead of being in the reality where the problem is not a problem, where we don't have a problem, where everything is solved and we're in a good place and everything is stable. So it's, like I said, it can be a little bit scary, guys, because I know it comes down to basic survival sometimes with some of these things, but it truly is just the state that we choose to focus on and to make our dominant state that has to play out in our external reality. So even though in some of the scariest situations where we're facing a major challenge, taking our attention off that and putting it on the end where we want to reside instead, and trusting that bridge from the current to the new version will unfold perfectly when we're inhabiting that new version of ourselves. When we trust that, then it has to. And like I said, and it will in magical ways. Just follow your intuitive nudges and follow the thoughts or ideas and inspirations that come to you. Because once you identify with a state and you reside in that state, it has to come to fruition. Everything works in your favor to bring that about. So if you just trust in that, then that's what will happen. Okay, guys, I think I repeated myself some in this video. Okay, that's okay. Anyway, like I said, in these videos, I don't have any notes typically, so I just kind of talk. So if I repeat myself, we're just going to be okay with that. Anyway, I hope everybody has a good night or a good day, and I will be back on tomorrow. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.